everyone, Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be doing a redo on a video I just put up, and the sound quality was not exactly stupendous. I'm going to do another one, a redo on it, and talk about the video I made, the 12 thanking the fans, paying tribute to them for 12 awesome years for the support they gave to my YouTube astrology channel, and right off the bat, I had enabled the comments on, and I got, at least a couple derogatory comments right off the bat. It's kind of like putting, I guess you could say it would be putting grease on the delay element in a model rocket when the rocket already has, something wrong with it. I figure I'd use a little bit more complex analogy for you guys and gals to give you something to think about. Basically, it's adding insult to abject misery. People got to understand what I'm going through. I guess I could have used a more simple analogy, like putting sugar in the gas tank when the car is already running bad, but you could use that one too. But some other things. Well, the thing is, again, right off the bat, I had, some negative commentary, and I should be used to that. And, you guys wonder why I have the comments disabled. I just don't have the time to have to keep explaining myself over and over again as to why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that. There were enough videos that were made, and people just keep asking and asking about, why am I doing this? Why aren't the comments enabled? Just getting monotonous and redundant. And we could all complain about things. There's all kinds of things, like with me. People want me to do this and do that for them. And people don't even write me and ask me, how I'm doing, or I hardly got any thank yous even for me thanking my fans out there. I know, I didn't have the comments enabled that long on that video, but people still could have written me and said, "Hey, Edwin, I saw that video you made in which you paid tribute to us. Thank you so much for remembering us, at this time." And it just wasn't meant to be for whatever reason. But the thing is, what I want to say that, some of you may remember me, and I've had a really not the best living situation, bouncing around from here to there, Moon and Gemini, Mercurial kind of home life. And very few people have even written me and asked me about what's been going on with you lately, Edwin. And also, there's also, people are so worried about comments, not being enabled, on my videos, and I just think it's very minuscule, in the grand scheme of things, basically. And as far as what's going on with my life, people don't really understand what I'm going through. And also, some of you may remember too, I had that, wanting to find a place in Colorado. And, I got a few inquiries, about that. But then just went dead, and I had somebody write me one time and said, "Oh, Edwin, I'll see if I can, something comes up, I'll let you know." And that was some time ago. That might have been a year ago or something, and then things just kind of dissipated. And I guess because I wasn't making the the video current anymore, I wasn't re-uploading it enough, and out of sight, out of mind. I guess I could have been more persistent with that particular Colorado video. And then another thing. Fundraiser I had about helping Edwin rebuild, that, that's been up for about 3 months, and, it still hasn't met, the goal on it. That's starting to dissipate for whatever reason. Also, some of you may know, that I do the astrology chart readings, and, hardly anybody even, responds whether I make the video or whether, they know about it. And for whatever reasons, people have not really inquired with me regarding that, and just a lot of things have just started to dwindle simultaneously. I don't know if this is some message from the universe or from the man upstairs, what's actually going on, and it's just all a lot of negative things going on. So people, you got to understand, in the grand scheme of things, why the comments not being enabled would be so insignificant to me. Somebody, in those 2 comments, the derisive comments that I got, on that the video for the thanks for 12 awesome years. Well, One of them was something about, why don't you put, in the description of the video, add keywords or something, and it goes back to the fact that these views on my videos have diminished so much. I don't have the incentive or impetus at this point in time to be doing that. I figure, well, they're not getting many views anyway. Why am I going to bend over backwards and play Twister just to get that done when people won't even view the videos? It's preposterous. It just doesn't make any sense. I understand a lot of the diminished viewership is attributed likely to YouTube shadow banning my videos. So it's not just about the fans, running astray or not viewing the videos. It's a lot of it, I think, is because my videos in all probability are being shadow banned, at least to some degree, by YouTube. And the thing is, too, another person had, in one of those comments, had stated something about, well, why don't I change the pictures in the background? See, the thing is, people are so hell-bent on things that I believe are superficial and frivolous. Okay, it's not about the background in the astrology video, it's about the background of the YouTube astrologer. That is what people need to be looking at, and not worried about, what's in the background. What am I supposed to do? Put a strobe light back there and make things more exciting for others? It just, to me, we're about, it's about assimilating the knowledge. Not about all this extra fanfare or doing something, being flamboyant. So people got to understand that. Another thing I want to get at is, really, people don't really understand. You can, they talk about, all the negatives with me, or whether it's the sound quality or the comments not being enabled, or I don't have the keywords in the videos. For me, people don't really understand what I've been going through. It's like, for the, excuse me, I've had extensive nerve damage for a very long time, and it's prohibited me from doing many things, having enjoyment in my life. I've been on basically probably under poverty level income for at least the most of the last, 19 years or so. And for me, I could say, well, why don't people check on me? Why don't people write me and say, hey, Edwin, what's going on? How are you health-wise? How is your living situation? And people just, don't do that, because I think what's happened is we become dominated by self-interest, dominated by our own interests. We're becoming so engrossed in our own lives that we don't even think about other people. People generally will contact me when it's something regarding, how something is affecting them adversely connected with my videos, such as sound quality or the comments not being enabled, as some examples. And we got to understand that, there's some things that are more important in life for others than that. And people really got to know me and knew my situation. They would understand why I don't really see enabling comments as really being a big concern at this point in time. If people want to start giving me more viewership, that might give me the incentive or impetus to do that. People want to write and complain to me about these things, but it really, like, what can I get? What can you guys and gals do to help me and show more support? And I got to start thinking to myself, because, what? If one doesn't have, much love in one's life, one has to love themselves, right? There's, I've been feeling alone and desolate for some time. People, I think, are under a misconception about me. They think because, I've been doing the YouTube astrology videos for a pretty good time. It's been over 12 years that I would have amassed certain popularity. I would have more people in my life, and it's really couldn't be further from the truth. I've gotten popular to some degree in terms of the viewership, overall over this time, and the fact that I put myself out there for over 12 years. But in terms of having anybody in this real world, there's really not many people around. So, and I have to deal with that as well. Relationships dissipating. When I say relationships, important, friends is what I'm really referring to in my case. So, while you understand what I'm saying, friendships, dwindling, dissipating, there's not a lot at this point in time to be overly, really exuberant about for me. So, I just would have thought that I would have gotten a little more appreciation for my efforts for making the video in which I paid tribute and I dedicated to my loyal and steadfast fans out there. And I just don't understand. I got a couple of the negative comments. There were a few positive ones mixed in there, but then after I disabled that comments, I don't even know if anybody even wrote me and said, "Hey Edwin, thank you for giving us 12 years of your loyal, steadfast, and persistent videos, being so reliable and consistent with them." And that just, it didn't happen. Again, we're in a society dominated by the self. It's self-centered. We don't always think of other people. I'm the kind of person, right? If I started to, if I just, let's say, walk off the face of the earth, really walk off the face of the YouTube astrology community, I think at that point in time, that's when people would really miss me. That's when it would be like, wow, this guy was really good. He was very consistent and loyal. And sometimes people take things for granted. I put a video up practically every day. Not many people do that. And I do that even with the diminished viewership on the YouTube astrology channel. So to my credit, people, they could understand through that I'm not in this real for glory and accolades and notoriety or recognition. Where I'm trying to bring viewers the knowledge and give them the astrological knowledge to assimilate. If I was about the viewership, I would have likely ended my time on YouTube astrology videos some time ago, when my videos likely first became shadow banned. Might have been 2 or 3 years ago. This has gone on for some time, and it just goes to that statement: life is very unfair. There's no reason, assuming my videos were shadow banned, there's no reason why they should have been. I've talked with at least one person on this, and the person stated it might have been automated the way it was done. Because I think if a human actually had looked at my videos, they'd understand that there's no reason to shadow ban me. Sometimes people get shadow banned for the redundancy, like with the words, keywords or the title. But I use a lot of, same words or similar words in a lot of the videos because it applies to them. Like when I was putting the keywords in the astrology videos, a lot of them I put, natal chart, astrology, Western astrology, because it was applicable. But it may have been perceived as something else, and I was just doing it because the words did apply, because a lot of my videos, are based on, our natal chart, based on natal chart placements, and the videos are connected with astrology and specifically Western astrology. But, the thing about it is, people, you just got to understand that, to me, comments enabled and these keywords or whatever, it's just not significant to me at this point in time. And considering everything else that's going on, I'm probably going to be spending another, holiday season coming up alone again. Again, it ties into another misconception people have of me, that there's, that I have this immense popularity, and that even, during holidays or what have you, that I have people, clamoring for my attention and wanting to spend time with me, and that couldn't be further from the truth. So, there's some things I think people out there, they think something of me, and it's just completely fallacious, completely not true. And we're in a society, unfortunately, it's dominated by superficiality, your status, your stature in life, social status, the money you have. So that plays a role as to why things are the way they are for me, why a lot of people have not given me much of a chance, whether it's a significant other or what have you. So you have to just try to understand that if I can't get many other people to love me, Edwin has to love Edwin, right? And by doing so, I gotta do things, for myself to some degree. If I had to spend, I can't spend all day, being on that computer and be answering, the comments, especially ones that people could have figured out by simply Googling things. Somebody asked me one time, what is powerful and intensity? I mean, I'm serious. Person wanted me to define those words for her. And I mean, that could have been Googled. Things, or people would just comment because they're trying to get some free astrological information out of me, or they want to put something derogatory or negative up about the videos. So, for me, it just doesn't, it's almost pointless, enabling the comments on people tell me, oh, you move up in the algorithm or you can get more viewership if you enable comments. How much more viewership would I be getting, really, by doing that? It just, to me, I think the effort would outweigh the reward strongly. And, people got to understand that it's not, those things, with the YouTube videos and enabling comments, it's just not an important thing at this point in time. People don't want to view the videos that much, but yet they want me to practically bend over backwards and make these concessions and accommodations for them. And I just don't feel the need to do it at this point in time. A true fan will stay by the video channel, the YouTube channel, even if the comments are disabled. That's the way I see it. Anyway, but that is just my belief and my opinion on it. So, anyway, people, I'll say again, thank you. Again, for the 12 plus awesome years that you've given me. And I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for the people that still view my videos in spite of the fact that, they're not, I have the comments disabled on them. So I just want to thank you guys and gals out there once again for that. It would have been nice if I got a little bit more, appreciation for the fact that I paid tribute to you guys and gals out there. But, things don't always happen. We don't always get what we want, in our life. And, I'm living proof of it. Just because you might be a kind, benevolent person doesn't mean you always have things in life. And, I think about, sometimes I think that I'm like an example, from God, from the man upstairs, in respect to your religious beliefs, of course, you guys and gals' religious beliefs. But when I'm going to elaborate and expound on that, when I say I'm an example, what it is that, just because somebody is philanthropic, they're benevolent, they're kind, they have a lot of goodwill, doesn't mean they're going to have a lot of things in life. And that's not what, you're not supposed to really look at things like that anyway. When you're a believer, you're supposed to have, you do things without the anticipation of reciprocation. And when I say, again, I'm an example, what I mean is that I think sometimes God, he puts certain people out there to show, just because, you do the right thing, you're a decent person. It doesn't mean you're going to have, worldly riches. And we're not, I know that's not supposed to be the mindset anyway, but the point being that, what one thing doesn't have anything to do with the other is what it comes down to. I'll see people out there that in my heart, I know their quality of their person is less than mine. And they have a lot. They have their financial stability. I was working, good financial acumen. They never have a monetary worry. They have love in their life. A good example is there was somebody I worked with at a Kmart one time. He was an older person. And, he was kind of like a tyrant, like a dictator. He hardly ever smiled. The guy was, store manager. I'm sure he was making a very good salary, and he was mean as heck to me. And, I think it was because he was trying to get rid of the people that were making decent money, the employees that were making decent money. But the point I'm making is, somebody like him that was very, abrasive, and, somebody that just wasn't a very nice person, was in a very good position in life. And he was, the store manager at the time, which I'm sure, this is back in 2005, but I'm sure it was at a very good, salary, at least for that time. And the thing is, it never ceases to amaze me that I'll see, these people that are doing so well in their life, and the quality of their person is really something to be desired. But God understands that it's not about, you can't, make the correlation, with monetary riches with who you are as a person. And I think I'm like an example for that, if that makes any sense. Mother Teresa, I think, had gone through all kinds of tribulation and adversity. And she was like, I think she was one of the, one of the more benevolent people ever out there. So, you understand, I think you guys and gals understand what I'm saying out there. That again, it's not about, the quality of the person you are. Really, there's no real connection or correlation as far as what you're going to have in life. And I just have to hope at this point in time, since I'm obviously not getting much on our mundane world, that maybe in the afterlife there'll be something good in store for me. And I, prayerfully, that'll be the case. But anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.